Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Chiron in the second house in the natal horoscope. As most of you know, Chiron is associated with the wounded healer. It represents an area in our lives where we can often emphasize and accentuate with others and help others significantly, perhaps in this area, but we often have difficulty helping ourselves in this area. Well, anyway, let me get started. The first thing is with Chiron in the second house, this may be a person that may encounter difficulties with finances, with possessions. This could be a person that might have difficulty in the acquisition of possessions and resources, or may have trouble maybe with organization of them. Perhaps their financial situation is not necessarily might not necessarily be great, or they might feel where it needs to be better as far as monetarily, and maybe they've had difficulties with investments. Maybe possessions may be literally disheveled, or maybe they have trouble in the organization of them. Perhaps values might need restructuring. At the same time, this person may excel at helping others in these areas. This person may be somebody that could be almost like a financial advisor to people, and be a mentor as far as ways that they could help themselves in generating income, their possessions, their values, their self-worth and esteem. At the same time, this person may have difficulty in doing so themselves, and this may be attributed to the fact that when you look at Chiron is often about overcompensation, and this person may be so busy trying to emphasize and accentuate these areas in someone else's life, they may neglect their own in this specific area. This could be a case where maybe the person was somewhat extravagant or too generous or magnanimous with people they knew, whether it's friends, acquaintances, or otherwise, in helping others out, perhaps monetarily, that they may have maybe trouble in their own department in terms of money, due to the fact that maybe they relinquished a lot of their funds by being so giving to others. This could be a placement where the person might have some issues that are connected, we could say, not just with money in general, but the value system. And this person can be very good at helping others establish this. What I want to say is that a lot of this, the house placement is more significant, as I stated before, as opposed to the sign placement, but the sign placement will make a little difference in terms of interpretation. Say somebody has Chiron in Taurus in the second house. This could indicate difficulty in the persistence, tenacity in terms of the acquiring or acquisition of the possessions, perhaps, and they might encourage others to show these persistent qualities and perseverance in connection with income, but they may have difficulty in doing so for themselves. Now, let's take Gemini, Chiron in Gemini in the second house. This could be a person that may encourage others to diversify and show versatility as far as things of a monetary nature goes, and possessions and things that they have. But this could be a person that may either be somewhat scattered in terms of generating income and maybe not really following through on different avenues or ventures in terms of making money, or may not be able to have or lack consistency in a value system is another example, but may just have trouble doing this for themselves in terms of having maybe more than one outlet in terms of how, as far as generating income goes. So this is basically what it is as far as Chiron in the second house. And I think one thing to remember as far as this goes, that which could be advantageous to people, is that Chiron is about being doing things that are beneficial to others, and being that quote unquote that wounded healer, and being able to heal others in certain areas or aspects of their life. Now, it's just the key of applying this to oneself. If you can do this for other people, then what you do is you use this application on yourself, and be able to disperse the ability evenly with others and yourself. Don't neglect yourself to the point where you're just dominated by helping others in one department at the expense of yourself, and making that ultimate sacrifice where it's to your detriment and you're not helping yourself in that particular area of one life. This is not to say that you shouldn't help others. I'm not saying that at all. You still can use these gifts and abilities, these attributes, as far as helping others in that sector of life, but you must be able to remember, not at the expense of yourself, and be able to use this ability for yourself as well. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Chiron in the second house in a natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Chiron in the third house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person, astrologically, is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.